All right, so it's 2021, and the Nike Dunk has been reigning supreme in the last couple of years, but we've seen a couple moves from Nike that are making me wonder if the hype of the Nike Dunk is going to die. So I figured I'd discuss in this video and show you guys a couple of the pairs that I just recently picked up. What is going on, guys? Hess here, heskicks.com. Hopefully you guys are having a good day out there. And if you guys are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you guys want to go to my website, collectivekicks.com, basically I just post a bunch of sneaker deals that I curate for you guys through the week. And so you can go out there and see what I post from Nike and Adidas, stuff like that. So I already showed you guys previously that I actually hit a sneakers W on a pair of these guys right here. This is the Vast Gray colorway. I always have to reference for some reason. It's just not easy to remember. And then I also got this one, finally. This one took forever to actually show up at the house. But we got the Hyper Cobalt colorway right here. I just think it looks like a royal to me. But this one is a pretty nice color blocking and one that I was excited to get. But to be honest, when I got both of these in hand, I'm like, oh man, they're just, the materials are terrible. Now I get it, it's somewhat expected. This is the same type of materials you get on a regular Nike Blazer, and those type of sneakers as well, because it is a $100 shoe. So they're not gonna put crazy premium materials on a $100 shoe. Okay, can I sidebar for a second and just say $100 is still a lot of money. It's funny that I've been desensitized and we've been desensitized to the fact that we spend $100 on this pair of sneakers. And even though it's at the low end of the sneaker spectrum, it's still $100. So when you get them and then you see the quality on them, especially if this is your first sneakers W and maybe a stretch purchase for you, because $100 does go a long way, and you get these in hand, you're like, wow, this is what I get for $100. The material is donkey. It's terrible. Like, it's not good material at all. McDonald's, as I've always said, and the same thing for the Vast Gray. So the thing is I think Nike has gone in a couple different directions, which is probably the best of both worlds for the people out there. So the question of the day, is the Nike Dunk going to die? Is the wave going to end? For me personally, I've been a Nike Dunk fan for a long time. I've had these sitting out here to show you guys as well. This is actually a pair that I Nike ID'd back in 2005 when these were available on Nike ID. This is a weird looking colorway, I know. This was like my play on of the Stussy Dunks with that Neapolitan sort of theme to it, with a strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. And then it had this like strawberry patent leather that I went crazy with. Like, I love this shoe. I think it's such a fun one that I designed, and I can't believe I still have them in my collection, because it's just one of those shoes that I've kicked around the idea of getting rid of many times, but happy to have them. But I've been a fan of the Nike Dunk for quite a while. So the hype is really high on the Nike Dunks right now, but you got to understand why it's really high. I think part of the reason is because Nike scaled back production numbers. They went with collaborations again, made more limited runs. Supply is low, demand is higher, and then next thing you know, there's some pop there again. Back in the day when Nike SB was a thing that really was starting out, they were releasing Nike Dunks in very small quantities just at skate shops. They didn't hit Nike.com. You had to know the skate shop or just go to the skate shop and wait in line. Back when the Tiffany Dunks dropped, I actually knew one of the owners of the Armory, which is a store that's no longer there anymore. And I was told that the shoes are going to be released on a certain day. I went and waited in line with everybody else, and I got a pair, and I ended up securing a pair of those back in the day. Shout out Sneaker in the Bay, because I sent him over his way for a pretty crazy price, like $500 or something like that, a couple years ago. But happy they went to a good home. Anyway, that craze really made sense because you had really, really limited supply and a huge exploding demand for the Nike Dunk sneakers, especially with these cool collaborations that people were coming up with. But then you fast forward, I want to say where the De La Soul retro happened, and they reversed the De La Souls from the high and the lows. They reversed, like, I think, a California Dunk from the high to the low. They did the same thing with the Tiffany Dunks. The original one was the low top. They retroed a pair with the high top version, inspired after the Tiffany Dunk as well. And they mass produced those much larger quantities, released them on Nike.com, released them to Nike stores and stuff like that as well. So the quantity was a lot more out there. And I remember specifically seeing the De La Soul Dunks at the Nike outlets for $40, I think was the lowest I saw them. And I bet if you check back in some of my outlet videos, you could probably find it where it was like $44 or something crazy for those De La Soul Dunks. People were throwing them out the window at other people. Like, they were just not, they were super bricks. They were definitely not desirable at that point anymore because they were so saturated, and the fact that they were mass producing them and the quality was meh. it was okay. So now we've seen this resurgence because of like the Travis Scott types or the Kylie Jenner or whatever wearing the dunks, and then everybody, you know, the demand goes up because they see a celebrity type wearing them, and they're wearing the ones from the more or less the glory days of the Nike SB wave. But as a result of that, Nike's also captured some of that wave because they've been releasing Nike Dunks in smaller quantities in 2020. However, the fact that I secured both of these for me just means that they're making more of these. The fact that we see Nike Dunks on Foot Locker sites and other sites out there where they're hitting the masses, they're definitely more available than they were previously. So is there a fear of saturation? I think that Nike knows that they can make some colorways and saturate the market. What I think that they're going to be doing, and obviously continuing to do to capitalize on that hype market, as well as having everybody else just ride out the wave, is they're going to keep releasing limited edition pairs and then also release pairs to Foot Locker and Champs and stuff like that. And you know, the funny thing is who also did this recently? Kanye West, the Yeezy line did this. They did this in a really smart way where only Yeezy Supply and like Adidas got like the reflective versions or whatever of some Yeezys, and then Foot Locker and like even Urban Outfitters got some pairs of Yeezy Boost 350s. So they made some very limited and then some available to the masses, and both ended up selling out because of the demand of one. The trickle down effect, I think, to the other one really just makes it so it continues the wave. But so I think that Nike is going to continue doing that. Do I think the dunk wave is done? Not really, because it seems like Nike has a bunch of different ones in the collaboration space that is coming through the pipes that look pretty cool. Like as an example, I absolutely love both of these. This is a collaboration, Cactus Plant Flea Market, and then this is the Ben & Jerry's collaboration made with actually Ben & Jerry's, which I think is cool because usually they just have the design themed after something but not officially collaborated with. So I think that that is pretty rad. These things are crazy in person, man. They bling so hard. I've worn them twice. It's just such a super, super dope shoe. A shout out to Jen for the assist on this pair. Still can't believe I was able to get them. But what do you guys think about the Nike Dunk wave? Do you guys think that the Nike Dunk is going to taper down 2020? Do you think that they're going to saturate the market so much that nobody's going to want them? I mean, obviously, we saw a couple different releases drop with the draw, like on Nike recently, which has been nice that they've been doing a draw as well, because that's the only way I hit on these two, because the regular releases I just always fail on. But I'm not mad at this one. I think this one I'm going to keep. I'm probably going to get rid of this one just because I don't love the look in hand, and the quality is, again, not very good. The quality is not very good on this one, as I mentioned also, but the color blocking on this one I really like. But that's kind of my thoughts, man. I think that the wave is going to continue, even though they're going to saturate the market a bit. I think that it doesn't matter, because I think they're going to keep some of that hype market by releasing limited edition sneakers as well as some for the masses, and then everybody gets to eat to some capacity and people are happy. Plus, people can be scooping up pairs like this on the resale market for not super, super crazy $400 or $500 prices. You can get them for like, what is it, $250 or something, like twos or something like that. Like, you can get them for a pretty decent price. And because of that, I think that that is a win. Now, the only caveat to that is if the prices stay as low as they are at $100 a pop or $110. That's great for a GR pair. If they go up like $150, $160, $170 on a pair of those, then it's obviously a no-brainer. They're probably not going to be selling as hot, especially if they make lots and lots and lots of pairs. But that's just kind of my thoughts. I'm honestly curious to see what happens with it. I'm there for it no matter what, because I'm always looking forward to some fun collaborations from Nike, SB, and whoever they end up working with, just because there's some of the most creative ones in the market. Concepts always has some great ones with the ugly Christmas sweaters. I want to see, hopefully they could do another one of those, because I'd buy it. I have the other three. And I just love the Nike Dunk in general. Just one of those shoes that I've always loved, and I actually like the Dunk better than the Jordan 1, which I've said a million times, and I still have to convince other people out there that I have that preference, and it's not because of the current Dunk wave. But it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Maybe we'll see you guys back for some more videos, and have a good rest of the day. Peace, guys.